Hi, so good morning, everyone. By the way, I'm Joseph D. Gastang, and for today, we will be discussing what is dual coding theory. So basically, this word we've been using this one in our daily basis. We may not be aware of it, but we actually does, and we're in fact this word is been with us since the very first day of our consciousness. All right, so today we will be discussing three things in dual coding. So first is what is dual coding means. That means to say that we're going to identify the definition of it. And the second one is the importance of dual coding. And lastly is that how it benefits as a student, or the benefits of dual coding in students. All right, so let's start with the first one. What is dual coding? Dual coding is making sure that text and visuals combine in a way that supports students' understanding. The combination of verbal and visual presentation of information helps students learn new concepts. Right, so it's very self-explanatory, right? So dual coding means it is actually the interpretation that we do have whenever we hear new things or a word. So in dual coding, there is actually two types of interpretation or representation. The first one is the text, and the second one is the visuals. Dual coding theory. A theory of cognition was hypothesized by Alan Pavier of the University of Western Ontario in 1971. In developing this theory, Pavio used the idea that the information of mental images aids learning. And he actually proposed that the human mind operates with two distinct classes of representation or codes. So the first one is the verbal representation, and the second one is mental images. So to support this statement, I actually prepared a video clip in order for us to really understand further this theory. So please watch, guys.
Dual coding theory in a nutshell. When I say dog, what comes to mind? Perhaps you pictured a dog, your dog maybe, or maybe you conjured the word dog. You probably learned dog through a combination of hearing the word dog and seeing images of dogs, maybe even interacting with a dog. Now when you hear the word dog, you remember it, because somewhere along the way, the word and the image were connected, giving dog meaning. By definition, dual coding theory is the process by which our brain stores information. It claims images and words are processed through different channels in our brain and stored in short-term memory. If we can connect the words and images, we can boost not only our memory of individual terms and ideas, but connections between concepts. Dual coding theory claims that learning can be maximized by combining words and images. For example, connecting the word farming with images associated with farms can help you make meaning of the bigger idea, farming. By marrying the text word with a visual representation, you store the concept as images and verbal cues, increasing your ability to recall the information when you need to know it later. Originally presented by Alan Pavio in the early 70s, dual coding theory is all about your brain. It may be nearly 50 years old, but it still has implications for our teaching and learning today. In our classrooms, tapping into this theory of processing information can help us support our learners' ability to retain information. Using picture notes and visual representations of terms, concepts, and ideas is a great way to reinforce learning and boost understanding and retention for our learners.
Right, so the second one is the importance of dual coding. This would let the students process the knowledge into different ways. Using it will boost the students' learning and it will help them to retain information over time. Alright, so the second one is the importance of it. So basically, the very reason why is it dual coding is so important because there are actually times wherein we know the word, however, it seems like that we don't know what is the physical attribute of that thing. And yeah, to be honest, you guys, that's I'm actually guilty about it because there were times that I know the word, like I know how to spell the word. I know, yeah, I know the word. However, it seems like that I actually am not familiar of what is really that word means, or I mean, I'm not really familiar of what is the physical attribute of it. So cases like that. So it is very important, guys, that we need to be literate, not just on the word itself, but we have to really know the entire of it. So it needs that our auditory and our visual aspect needs to collaborate in order for us to be more competitive. Alright, so down to the last one, which is the benefits that we will be getting of dual coding. So there's actually 6 in here. So the first one is directing student attention. So basically, if we are just literate when it comes to our auditory and visual aspects, when it comes to interpretation, so basically it will direct us as a student, or it will direct our attention. And the second one is triggering prior knowledge. So basically, these are the knowledge that we did have before. So it would actually trigger those knowledge that we did have before, or those things that we learned in the past. So it will actually retain. And the third one is managing cognitive load. So basically, this is actually the amount of information that our memory can hold at one time. So if we are just literate when it comes to this matter, then a really a big help to us as a student because it will help us to remember, or the level of our retention will actually increase. So that's the reason why that it is very important. Now the fourth one is building schema. So basically these are actually the drawer in our brain wherein whatever new information that we will be getting, it will be stored in our schema. And the fifth one is transferring to work memory. So basically, the knowledge, or I mean the information that we'll be getting will actually turns into active. And the last one is motivate.